Hello, marketers. Welcome back to CustomerLabs 1PD Ops. So, today we are going to take up advantages of offline conversion tracking in Google Ads. Firstly, you should understand that getting the complete customer journey and giving it to Google Ads goes a long way in helping Google understand the importance of your customers and training on your data and giving you better performance. Let's see all the advantages that you'll be getting once you implement Google Ads offline conversion tracking efficient. So, as I said, getting the full picture of your customer journey is very much essential for your marketing strategy. It is because it will help you figure out what is happening beyond the online interactions. So, all your online interactions, you are capturing it using a pixel or some other means. But combining that online interactions and what happens after they interact online in the real world of the web is what is important. That will help you train your ad algorithms with what happens in the real world, and that goes a long way in increasing the performance of your ad campaigns. So firstly, what is this offline conversion tracking? Offline conversion tracking, it is nothing but basically the process of sending the offline conversion data from your CRM or any other system that is offline, that is having offline data, and sending it back to Google Ads. This is called offline conversion tracking. So basically, what happens? Let's say a person is visiting your, saw your ad on the internet on the web, and he clicks on it and lands on your website, but he does not convert there on the website. For e-commerce, we can tell it is a purchase. If it is a lead gen, you can tell it is just a form submit or registering for a phone call. Now, how do you tell Google Ads if that person ever converted? If in the case of e-commerce, let's assume that the store also has an offline store, like the in the real world. So a person clicks on the ad, lands on your website, explores the product but did not purchase. So Google thinks that that person is not valuable and will not try to target that person. Whereas in reality, that person, after he explores the product in the page, he again visits your store in the real world. He will explore the product again, he will touch and feel it, understand it, and then make a purchase. So, this is what happens if it is an e commerce. Now, when it is a lead gen, every person who's submitting that lead form or registering for a phone call or booking a demo or signing up for a trial is not a valuable customer. Only the ones who convert after you reach back to those people is the conversion and is a valued. So how you have to send this data back to Google Ads so that Google understands, okay, fine, this person is valuable, I need to find more of these people, and also this person converted and attribute it to the ad. Therefore it will give you the real count of the conversion data. So that's it. So offline data can be anywhere. It can be your in-store purchases, it can be phone calls, it can be lead form submitted, so that data will be in your CRM systems. Or you might have like Salesforce, HubSpot, etc., CRMs, etc. And you might also have subscription systems like ChargeBee, wherein you have your subscription data. That data you can send it back to Google Ads. So all the offline interactions that Google has no clue of, you're sending it back to Google Ads. That is Google Ads offline conversion tracking. Now, you might be thinking, okay, why should I do this? What are the benefits that I'm getting? What are the advantages of Google Ads offline conversion tracking? So, let me tell you some of the benefits I have listed down. So, I'll be explaining one by one each. So, number one, increased conversions. So, when you're using Google Ads offline conversion tracking, what happens is you are giving out that missing conversion data back to Google. So as I told, a person clicked on an ad but did not purchase for an e-commerce, did not purchase on the website. Now what happens? Google thinks that is not a conversion because that person did not purchase, because you had purchase event as a conversion. So it will report, let's say, some 58 purchases or 58 conversions. Now 10 people, let's assume, okay, I'll give a number. So out of 100 people who clicked on the ad, let's say 48 people have purchased that product, okay, on the web itself. Now 10 other people, what they did is they clicked on the ad, they scrolled through the page but did not make a purchase. They went into the real world, into your offline store, and then made a purchase. Okay. And rest of the people did not even purchase anywhere. Now in Google Ads it will attribute and show the conversions as 48. Why? Because you're sending only your online store data. Now this offline store data is missing out, but they came from that specific ad. So how do you attribute it correctly? When you send this data back from your offline system, if you're in store, into Google Ads, then Google will be able to understand and know, okay, these people also has resulted from that specific ad. So that is how Google will be able to attribute the conversions accurately to the ad. At the same time, it will show an increased conversion rate. That is something called, Google uses this term called conversion uplift, or something like, basically it will increase your conversions and show, because you are now giving it complete data. Number two, 360 degree profile of a customer. So what happens is, when you are giving this both online data and offline data of a customer to Google Ads, you are basically giving every single information about the customer to Google Ads. So this will help Google with understanding the customer completely from across all the touch points. So complete 360-degree profile of a customer is available with Google. So you're sending all the customer audience signals to Google Ads, so that it will help you improve with a lot of other things. So when you set up Google Ads offline conversion tracking, you are not just sending this conversion data, you are basically sending the complete customer information with, which is the high quality first party data signals, to Google Ads. So you already have seen how, where I have explained in one of my blogs, the importance of audience signals in Google Ads. If you did not read it, I'll be giving you the link in the description. You can read that. So basically, this audience signals help Google Ads with better optimization in for every ad campaign. So that's the benefit of having Google Ads offline conversion tracking, wherein you give the complete customer picture of your users to Google Ads. Number three, improved targeting. Basically, what happens when you are giving this offline conversion data back to Google Ads, Google will know, okay, fine, these people are the ones who will actually purchase. So out of 100 people who clicked on the ad, these 50 people, these 60 people who have converted are worthy of targeting. So what it will do, it will try to reach out to more people who are similar to these people. So it is, as I told, signals. So it will have certain signals which it will identify that it is getting from these users, and therefore it will try to find other people using these signals. So there'll be, it's a complex algorithm. Google Ads is a very complex algorithm, where it can understand a user from multiple different aspects once you give a user's data. So therefore Google will be able to target very relevant specific customers who are more likely to convert. So that's the one third benefit of using Google Ads offline conversion tracking. Number four, acquiring high value customers is one of the benefit of Google Ads offline conversion tracking. Why? So what, as I was telling in the best practices of offline conversion tracking, that you need to assign the value when you, to the conversion when you're sending it back to Google Ads. So when you send this value to Google Ads along with the conversion data, Google will know which customer is of high value, which customer is of low value. And when you're using strategies like maximize conversion value or ROAS, all these things, and also even by default, when it is trying to optimize and reach out to people, it will see what is the value of customer that a certain user might bring in, what is the value that they'll bring to the business. It will understand based on the data that you give, which is having the conversion value. So this will help Google Ads for your business high value customers. So that is number four. Number five, training bidding algorithms. So as I was telling, maximize conversion value or the value based bidding. For this, Google Ads needs full complete conversion data along with value. When you have set up Google Ads offline conversion tracking or Google Ads OCT, what happens is Google will be able to train itself algorithms on these on this data. So this data has the conversion value, this data has audience signals, this data has complete picture of customers who are likely to convert. So the bidding algorithms will train around this and will bid for these kind of things, which will drive more value to your business, which will drive conversion rates with better value. So that is how you will be training these bidding algorithms, by using your offline conversion tracking inside Google Ads. Number 6, reduce your CPP, cost per purchase. Most advertisers struggle with reducing their CPP. So when you are setting up Google Ads offline conversion tracking, you will be able to reduce your CPP by a significant amount, which is very much visible clearly. That is because, so now you're sending all this offline conversion data into Google Ads from your CRM system or any other place, in store, POS, point of sale, whatever. So when you send this offline conversion data back to Google Ads along with value and all other signals, Google will is now in a position where it has already trained its algorithms to an extent where it will find right users. So your ad spend is not wasted, because you're showing your ad only to those users who are most likely to convert. So when your reach is very specific, your ad spend is already optimized. Okay, now people who are clicking on that ad are most likely to get converted. So your cost per purchase will reduce significantly, because let's say earlier you are spending let's say $500 for ads. So from $500 you have reached 20,000 customers. So using $500 you reach out 20,000 customers. Out of that, only 5,000 you customers have converted, let's assume, rough. Okay, now when you're using Google Ads offline conversion tracking, what happens is, when you're reaching out this 20,000 customers, these 20,000 customers, first initially when you reached out, they're random. You are not sure if they might convert or if they might not convert. But now, after using Google Ads offline conversion tracking, out of those 20,000 customers, you are reaching out to very high intent audience. Therefore, you can see better conversion rate. So out of 20,000, maybe 10,000 people will get converted. So for the same $500, reaching out to the same 20,000 users, you are having more purchases. So obviously your cost per purchase is reduced, followed by your CAC. So your customer acquisition cost also is reduced, because when you're expanding the audience net, you're reaching out to the right audience. So Google, in its one of its document, was showing, giving the right first party data, high quality first party data will help you reduce your CAC, because you are reaching out the right target audience in the right way. So that is how you will be able to reduce your CPP, you will be able to reduce your CAC. And once you do this, you will be able to increase your ROAS, because you will be having a better return on your ad spend, as you're reducing a lot of things by optimizing your ad campaign performance. So once you do all this, you will be able to see a jump in your revenue metrics as well. So using Google Ads offline conversion tracking offers these immense benefits that you can reap from. These are just what I have come from. If you properly implement Google Ads offline conversion tracking, you will unearth more benefits. So far I have discovered these. If I come across more, I'll be sharing them across with you. So let's see how you can get started with Google Ads offline conversion tracking. If you've already set up Google Ads offline conversion tracking, and if you're not seeing any of the benefits that I've mentioned, or advantages that I've mentioned, follow this and continue this video, so that you might know where you might be missing out. So I'll be sharing some of the best practices, and some just here and around, how people can in general implement this Google Ads offline conversion tracking. So number one, initially, back then, Google has come up with this OCI, and it also released a guide called OCI Helper. That is the offline conversion import helper, and Google Ads offline conversion import. This is completely relying on the Gclid. So the Gclid, Google Gclid is nothing but the Google Click ID. If you don't know what it is just an identifier which Google uses to identify and map the user. So the Gclid is appended in the URL. Basically, it is generated when a person is clicking on the Google ad. You will save that Google click ID in your CRM or in an Excel sheet, wherever you have. When you're sending back this offline conversion data, that is why when you're uploading this offline conversion data into Google Ads, you'll also have this Google click ID attached along with the lead. So Google will be able to easily match and give you the right tracking. However, with increased privacy updates, especially after the Apple's ATT, Google Click ID is very difficult to use. And Google also mentioned that it will not focus anymore by bringing up some other IDs to identify the user specifically. It is going with some other thing called W braid and G braid, which is not identifying the user specifically. So that's all together. So now how do you use it? You have enhanced conversions for leads. So if you set up enhanced conversion for leads, even without Google Click ID, you can still track your offline conversions using the hashed first party data, your own first party data that the user gives in when when he or she submits the form or makes a purchase. So like name, email ID, phone number, all this data, you will be hashing it in using the SHA-256 and sending it back to Google Ads. So this is nothing but enhanced conversion for leads. So there are three ways to set up. One is using either Google Tag Manager, or if you are very much peculiar with the coding, you can use Google Tag. Or if you are a hardcore coder, you can also use Google Ads API. Google Ads API is the best way and the right way, I mean, best recommended way to get started with this offline conversion tracking. However, it needs help from developers very much. If you still feel like I want to go with this Google Ads API, which is the best recommended way for enhanced conversion for leads, but I don't have a developer, and I can't invest in a developer. There's a simple method for you wherein you can set up this Google Ads API with just a few clicks and get your offline data flowing into Google Ads. That is when you use CustomerLabs 1PD Ops Enabler. So CustomerLabs 1PD is a tool which helps you with seamless integration of your offline data into Google Ads directly through the API connections. So when you're sending this offline conversion data, you have more advantages. So I'll be talking about those in the next slide. So why choose Custom Labs 1PD Ops for Google Ads OCT? So first thing is, I have mentioned that you need to append these external ID, or these value to the users. So basically, Custom Labs does it all automatically for you. Everything is automated, very seamless. So once a user lands on your website, a lot of event parameters are captured, like the user parameters, like their Google Click ID is captured, their if it is their and then their browser ID, their user agent, their all the data. Even for the anonymous users, we capture a lot of data. Um, we also capture the consent mode for the users and store it once they give the consent. So all of this happens. So all the values, all the IDs that are needed, including gcled, everything will be captured and stored inside the Customer Labs on videos. Next, it is helping you with easy integration without much help from developers. Like you can connect any source, like if your website, you can connect your CRM like Salesforce, HubSpot, any CRM, any custom source, you can easily connect as a source into Custom Labs and get your data flowing from that system into Custom Labs. You can even connect your subscription system like ChargeBee and get the data flowing into Custom Labs. From Custom Labs, you'll be pushing the data into any platform you want. So for now, Google Ads offline conversion tracking, you will pump in the data into Google Ads. Apart from this, you can also send this offline and online data into Meta Ads or any other ad platform or any other marketing platform like Lime Chat integration for WhatsApp or Klaviyo or MailChimp. You can think of, you can just get the data set up. Next, consent mode V2 for offline conversion tracking. After the consent mode V2 is released, most of the marketers, they have used the cookie bots and all and set up the consent mode V2 is what they have assumed. But what they are missing out is they are using consent mode but only for the online users. What about the offline data? So for the offline data, you are not able to append these consent parameters, that is add underscore user underscore data, add underscore personalization, and send it back to Google Ads. When you're using custom labs, what happens is you're bringing in the data from website. So when we are collecting the data of the user from the website, we are also collecting consent parameters, I told, remember? So we are collecting all the consent parameters like analytics storage, functionality storage, ad storage, ad underscore user underscore data, ad personalization, all of these consent parameters. Now we'll also connect your CRM. So the CRM data is also coming back into customer labs. So we'll have a 360-degree profile where the users details along with the consent parameters are shown, and this data is sent back to Google Ads. So this offline data or sent back to Google Ads along with consent parameters. So Google Ads will be able to use offline conversion data as well. Generally, if you do not send these consent parameters for your offline conversion data, Google Ads will not be able to use that data and will not be able to target those users because it needs consent parameters after the consent mode video is released. So if you're missing out this, think about it twice. Do something, but some hook by hook or crook they call it, append consent parameters and send the data back to Google Ads. Now, next, using Customer Labs 1PD Ops, you can go beyond the standard purchase event. So basically, this idea is because, for example, let's say you're an e-commerce marketer who's selling three different kinds of products. Okay, so let's say shoe, belt, and pants. Now, when you're sending your conversion data, the purchase data, you'll be sending completely to Google Ads. Now, the problem here is Google will be optimizing for purchase event. Let's say you're able to get purchases, but your purchases all are going towards pant only. There's no purchase happening for belt and shoe. You want to sell belt and shoe, so how do you do it? So what you can do using custom labs 1PD ops is you will segment these purchases of pant separately, segment the audiences and purchases of belt separately, segment the purchases of shoe separately. Now you will be sending this data of purchase shoe back to ad platform. You'll be able to send the purchase belt back to ad platform, purchase pant back to ad platform. When you send this data back to ad platforms, it will be able to optimize your ad campaign for that particular purchase event. So that is how you will be able to leverage offline conversion tracking using custom labs 1pd. So next, CustomerLab 1PD offers you first party domain tracking with a 1P cookie. So what happens is generally the browsers like Safari, Firefox, they will be deleting the cookies every 7 days automatically. Now, what happens is when a user lands on your website, after 7 days, again, if he visits your website, it is again a new user, despite being an old user. So, using Custom Labs 1PD domain tracking, first party domain tracking, and the 1P cookie, what happens is the cookie will never expire. So cookie will be there. That is because it's a first party cookie and it's not a third party cookie because browsers are deprecating these third party cookies. They're deleting automatically the third party cookies. Custom Labs helps you with setting up first party cookie using the first party domain, and this data of the user is captured throughout their journey, anonymous throughout. Once they become a known user, the data is also appended throughout. So complete customer journey is available for you using Custom Labs 1PD Ops. Now this complete data, when you send it to ad platforms, you can leverage them more better. So that's what you can do using 1PD Ops. So that's it. Thank you from my side. So if you have any questions related to offline conversion tracking in general, or any questions specific to how you can leverage offline conversion tracking using Custom Labs 1PD Ops, or any other questions, you can join our community, the 1PD Ops community for you, for marketers, at community.customlabs.com. I'll leave the link in the description below. It's a completely free community which is for educating you guys with resources and providing a platform for you guys to come and discuss. So join a community, discuss whatever you want to, and put forward your thoughts, and we'll be happy to help wherever we can. And if you want to know anything in specific to this video, you can also either comment or ping us at our community, and we'll be getting back to you with those queries solved. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel, and if you like this video and if you think it is helpful for fellow marketers, Please do share it so that it will be helpful for them as well.